Okay, I wanted to address a comment that was just made on one of the videos, and I'll go ahead and read the comment so there's no mistake what's being said. And it says, "You must realize there have always been fakes like him." This is on the Abscondananda 2013 and New Year's Pointing video. And there always has been injustice, violence, evil, madness in the world. It exists today and will likely continue to exist in the future. The Guru dispels darkness with light. Yes, but not by going after people with obsessive rants. Will you do this for all of them? Would the sage Ramana bother with such things? Surely one short and concise video would have been sufficient. Speak truth and grace will do the rest. Well, I'm sorry, no, grace is not doing the rest. Again, one has to continue to speak out. And yes, I have commented on others, not just Nityananda. I've been very forward with it. So I'll read my response. Now is a different time and place. Ramana was a sage and never claimed to be a guru, and that's the truth of it. He was one of the greatest proponents and examples of realization. His focus was not on being a guru, and neither was there internet at that time or such a vast amount of drama that needed to be confronted or waded through on a daily basis then. A guru uses the ways and means of the day, and one has to be realistic. What is given here to do is done, just as in the Chandipath, Kali had to cut the head of ego. So it's not always just a one little concise video, and let grace do the rest. If that was it, then, as the pointing of the Chandipath, it was a big struggle. There was a lot of things that had to take place on the path that needs to be done. And there's a vast difference between a sage, which only speaks of enlightenment, and a guru, which is there to confront what is there and to do more of the hands-on and the nitty-gritty type of stuff that needs to be done. The gurus are the ones that are more like in the trenches. The sage is more in the ivory tower. They're not in the trenches, doing this work. I wish that it would be so much easier to be a sage and just only speak of enlightenment, and what is in the state of enlightenment, etc., etc. But someone has got to be in the trenches and do what needs to be done. The tough things. This is not to say that Ramana did not speak out. He did, and much of what he said again, has not been fully recounted. Now, if you read a lot of the other things by people that were with him, you'll find out there's, more behind the scenes than is being actually told. Things get really cleaned up and before they make a book, etc. That's just the way it is. But again, we are dealing in an age now where these people are on the internet. There are, all sorts of books, things that back in Ramana's time, the information age was very slow to move forward. Now you're inundated with it on a daily basis. This is like saying, well, there's going to be crime out there, and so you should just put out one little thing about gun control and that, let grace do the rest, and that's it. No action needs to be actually done. No, there needs to be action done. People need to continue to speak out. You need to continue, to bring this to the forefront. Because otherwise it's not going to go away. And again, if people see what I'm saying and you disagree with it and you think it's a rant, then why are you tuning into my videos? Don't watch them if it bothers you so much. but I do this for a reason. I do this to be able to reach those that are, again, being willing to stand up and put themselves out there to speak the truth of what's happening with Nityananda or with some of these other gurus. They need to have a support system. They need to know that there are people that believe in them. They need to know that there are people that care about it and not just going to sweep it under the carpet. So, it's so nice to say, just do one video and the grace will do the rest. That is so bogus. I'm sorry. You're not going to want to hear that. Again, read the Chandipat. Some of us are here to do the hard-hitting truth and to cut through whatever it takes, and that's my function. That is the function that I have been given. There's a reason that my sannyas name was Kali Udamanandagiri, Kali, the bliss of enlightenment of Kali. So anyway, that's what my sannyas name is, and I don't I don't bring that a lot, but there's a reason for it, because I am just very straightforward and will cut the head of ego and cut what needs to be cut and address it. Okay, and I don't back down from it. I have no fear about it. I'm going to continue to speak out. So I just want people to understand the difference between a sage, because I get this a lot. Well, Ramana wouldn't do that. Ramana would be, well, Ramana is a sage. Ramana said, I am not a guru. And yes, you need a guru to progress. Hello, not my words. These are Ramana's words, okay? There's a reason that he said that, okay? He did not want to take that, and it was not his path to take that type of a role. His path was to be a sage and to remain in enlightenment and just speak of enlightenment. But his path was not to be a direct guidance to people in that sort of a hands-on, what do you say, more of a hands-on way, one-on-one, on a one-on-one basis, which is what more of the guru's function is, one-on-one, and more of that hard-hitting, like I said, nitty-gritty in society, that type of thing. Okay, different. It's a different thing. Same enlightenment, same realization, but the function is different. Okay? Just as the function of a teacher is vastly different than a function of a baker. Okay, maybe they have some of the same knowledge, one that teaches baking and one that's actually out there baking. Maybe they're teaching in the same subject matter, home economics or whatever, but one's function is different than the other's. That's it. Okay, so I don't know how to explain it any better than that. And, thank you, people, for chiming in and trying to tell me how to do my job. And if you think that I'm doing my job in a way that's not right, then get to where I am and then take over. Okay? I'd be happy to turn it over. Really, frankly speaking, So it's easy to sit in your armchair and say what I should and shouldn't be doing. But first, walk the path yourself. Go through the death before death. Go through Kundalini from start to finish, and then come back with your comment. Until then, walk your own path and continue forward in your own life. If you can benefit from the videos that I'm putting out, then continue to watch them. If you can't benefit from them, then why are you watching them? You might find better things to do with your time. Okay? So I will leave it at that. A sage is a sage. Okay, they're out there to give what is the ultimate truth. You know, what is realization? What is enlightenment? A guru is in the trenches. Okay, we're also giving that type of wisdom, but also we have to give the ways and means how to cut through. We're the ones that have to develop the different types of techniques, different types of methodologies to aid men to be able to break through. Not just talk about enlightenment, but how to nitty-gritty get people to break through the bonds and to understand the way forward to get off the wheel of karma. Okay, so I hope this has not confused the issue more. I hope that this has brought a little bit more light and where I'm at with that. And yes, if I find one that's in the limelight and continues to do the things that Nityananda is doing, I would speak just as much about it. Just as like when the Oneness University was so in vogue at that time, I spoke about that. And the Dasajis that were supposed to be enlightened sitting there drooling on themselves. It is not a state of enlightenment. Okay, I'm again very straightforward, and I got the same sort of comments back then with that. This is my function. Okay, so that's it. No apologies for it. It's what's to be done, and so I will step up to the plate and continue to do this as long as I have breath in this form. So that's it. So namaste. Thank you for your comments and giving me the opportunity to yet again bring a little more light into the situation as to what it is and what it's not here. Okay, thank you. Have a great New Year's.